Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Devasesha Sunyavadi Asya Chari Satari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda
ఏమిటది ల్యాప్టాప్
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari
ఏంటది ఇది ల్యాప్టాప్
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sadhe Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON Richmond Saturday program. It's 10:01 a.m. EST. Let's wait for Prabhuji and other devotees join. Then we can start the program. Hare Krishna, Shankaran Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranam Jai Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, I'll take maybe 2-3 more minutes to
Sure,
start.
Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances on Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, we'll be starting the program very shortly. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All worship Prabhupada. Welcome to ISKCON Richmond Saturday program. Today is the third part of the four-part series. Prayers to the darling of Lord Vrindavana. We'll be hearing a talk from His Grace Shankrant Prabhuji very shortly. Hare Krishna, Shankrant Prabhuji. Is it okay? Can we start, Prabhuji? Or
Yeah, bro, we can start. चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay. So, Hare Krishna, thank you all the devotees for joining this Saturday program. Also thankful to Shyamji Dhari Prabhu and Divyanam Prabhu for giving me an opportunity to serve all the devotees in Richmond. Thank you. So today we shall be continuing with the prayers Lord Damodar, as it has been explained by the Vaishnava Acharyas. And last time we have discussed till the text 5. So today we shall continue from the text number 6 onwards. These prayers of Satyavrata Muni, which we sing every day in the month of Damodar, are actually one way the essence of all the Vedic literature. And it's also a demonstration of how a devotee generally glorifies or meditate on the Supreme Lord's glories. So this prayer is actually a very exemplary way of meditating on the pastimes and the glories of the Supreme Lord. In today's words, start from text number 6 onwards. So the text 6 in the Damodashtakam sings, Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Pradho Dukha Jalatimata Kripa Drishti Vristyati Dinam Batano Prihanishu Mamagyame Dakshitvisya. So far Satyavrata Muni was meditating on the pastime of the Lord. But in this verse, he is doing Sankirtan. See, generally what happens is, when a devotee is meditating on the Lord's pastimes, the ecstasy develops, becomes ecstatic. And in ecstasy, the devotee starts singing the different names of Krishna. Like even King Kulashekhar's prayers, Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Dana Pareti Bhavalunthana Kovideti. In this way, King Kulashekar also, he actually begins the prayers by singing so many names of the Lord. And in that prayer, he prays, Alapina Pratidinam Kuruma Mukunda. My dear Lord, let me sing these names, different names of yours, every single day. Alapina Pratidinam Kuruma Mukunda. Oh Lord Mukunda, let me sing these different names of yours every day. So singing the names of the Lord is one of the way devotees feel ecstatic and joyful. Even in Narasimha Karavalamba Stotram, Shilpa Shankaracharya, after compiling the whole prayer, towards the end, he also sings the different names of Krishna. Brahman Keshava Janardana Vasudeva Lakshmi Narasimha Mamadehi Karavalamba Stotram. He says, my dear Lord, singing different names. Brahman Keshava Janardana Vasudeva. In the prayers to Lord Narasimha, he's singing these different names of the Lord. So, while praying, while meditating on the Lord's pastime, when the joy comes to the heart of a devotee, the devotee automatically starts singing the different names of Krishna. So here in this verse, Satyavrata Muni is doing Sankirtan. So he begins with Nama. I bow down, I offer my obeisances to the Lord. Nama. To whom? Deva. He's not offering obeisances to any mortal being. He's offering obeisances to Deva. Deva means here the mood of Satyavrata Muni is the celestial beauty. The beauty of Lord Damodar is not mundane. It's not material beauty. It is spiritual beauty. So Deva is referring to the beautiful form of the Lord. And specifically, he takes the name Damodar. Damodar is signifying the Bhakta Vatsala of the Lord. The Lord who's bound by bhakti, whose belly is bound by bhakti. Bhakti of Mother Yashoda. So Krishna is specifically Bhakta Vatsala. And this word Damodar actually signifies that. How Bhakta Vatsala he is, not only, as Krishna, he is bound by the devotees' love, but even as Lord Chaitanya, when he was personally manifesting his pastimes in this world, Lord Chaitanya, before taking sannyas, he actually went and took permission from each and every devotee, including his mother and his wife as well. He would not accept sannyas order without them giving him permission. Lochandas Thakur has given beautiful account of how Lord Chaitanya, nobody was willing to give permission to the Lord. Lord Nityananda was the first one. Of course, Lord Nityananda Prabhu is eternally in the mood of servant to the Lord, Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he, understanding the mood and mission of the Lord, he was obliged to give permission to the Lord to take sannyas. But his heart was broken. Nityananda Prabhu was thinking how Mother Sachi would live. So he told especially Lord Chaitanya, my dear Lord, I don't know how you would convince Sachi Devi. But Lord Chaitanya not only convinced Nityananda Prabhu, Advait Prabhu, Gadadhar. When he went to Gadadhar and he told Gadadhar, I'm planning to take sannyas. And Gadadhar became so angry. He said, why you want to take sannyas? He said, because I want to attain Krishna Prem. And Gadadhar said, which scriptures say that by accepting sannyas you can attain Krishna Prem? This is nonsense. Now, what you are doing. And Lord Chaitanya had to pacify each and every devotee, not only pacify, but take their permission. And specifically Mother Sachi and Vishnupriya Devi, the wife of Lord Chaitanya. There's elaborate pastime when Lochandas Thakur explains how Lord Chaitanya actually begged the permission from Mother Sachi. Mother Sachi also gave him permission, and Vishnupriya also gave permission to Lord Chaitanya to take sannyas. So Lord is bound by the law of his devotee. He would not accept even sannyas, which was so conducive for fulfilling his mission as Yuga Avatar, propagating the holy names of the Lord. The Lord would not do it without the permission of his devotees. Similarly, when Lord Chaitanya, he was living in Nilachal, Lord Chaitanya took sannyas in the month of Magh. During the Sankranti, Makar Sankranti, he took the sannyas. And then after the month of Magh, Falgun, he traveled to Nilachal. So Falgun is month of March, April. That is the time when he traveled to actually February, March. Actually, he traveled to Nilachal. And then the month of Chaitra, he delivered Sarvam Bhattacharya. And in the month of Vaishakha, he wanted to travel to South India. So even to travel to South India, he actually took permission from the devotees, which was so difficult for devotees to give him permission. Especially Sarvam Bhattacharya was feeling so much separation after he was transformed by Lord Chaitanya. It was so difficult for him to give permission to the Lord to travel. But the Lord explained to the devotees that he is going to South India in search of his brother, Vishwarup, who had taken sannyas some time ago. So the devotees were obliged to give him permission. So Lord Chaitanya traveled for 2 years in South India. And when he came back from South India, then he wanted to go to Vrindavan. So when he asked the permission from devotees to go to Vrindavan, Sarvam Bhattacharya and Ramananda Rai, two of the very intimate associates of the Lord, they were thinking this is not good. If the Lord Chaitanya, he traveled for 2 years to South India, if he again leaves for Vrindavan, we don't know how long he'll be gone. So they told the Lord, my dear Lord, is already, the rainy season already started. So you can wait till the rainy season gets over. So Lord Chaitanya agreed. So when the rainy season was over, Lord Chaitanya again asked, that I need to go to Vrindavan. And the devotee said, no, my dear Lord, it's too cold now to travel, you can wait, and after Dhol Yatra, after the, the holy festival is over, then you can go. And Lord Chaitanya agreed. So in this way, they kept postponing to the Lord, and in this way, 2 years went by. 2 years, Lord Chaitanya was begging permission from the devotees, especially Ramananda Rai and Sarvam Bhattacharya. They kept telling Lord some different excuses, So 3rd year, it so happened that, because every year devotees from Navadvip used to come in the month of, around June, July, they used to come to Nilachal. All the devotees, almost 200 devotees used to come from Navadvip, headed by Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, Shivananda Sen, and so many devotees from different places around. They used to come and stay for 4 months with Lord Chaitanya. So 3rd year also, the devotees came from Navadvip. But that year, after attaining the Rath Yatra festival, they did not stay for 4 months. They immediately left for Navadvip. And when they left, Lord Chaitanya actually went to Ramananda Rai and Sarvam Bhattacharya. He said, I had been asking from you the permission to go to Vrindavan, but somehow that you've not been giving me permission. You have been tricking me so many different ways. I beg at your feet, please let me go to Vrindavan. I'm so much longing to be in Vrindavan. So Sarvam Bhattacharya and Ramananda Rai thought it's not appropriate for them to keep tricking the Lord like this. So they told the Lord, my dear Lord, yes, it's a monsoon season now, so please wait. And once the monsoon is over, on the day of Vijayadashmi, you can leave. So Lord Chaitanya agreed. And then different devotees inviting Lord Chaitanya for prasad. And when the monsoon season got over, Lord Chaitanya, on the day of Vijayadashmi, he left Nilachal to go to Vrindavan. So it was on the day of Vijayadashmi that Lord Chaitanya actually started his journey to Vrindavan. But Lord Chaitanya would not do it without the permission of his devotees. So the Lord is actually Bhaktavatsala. He is very much bound by the love of his devotees. And similarly, devotees are also bound by the love of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya, when he was traveling, he left for Vrindavan. One of the associates of the Lord, Gadadhar Pandit, was also living with Lord Chaitanya in Nilachal, in Jagannath Puri. He wanted to go with Lord Chaitanya to Vrindavan. But the problem was Gadadhar Pandit had taken Kshetra Sannyas. Now, what is Kshetra Sannyas? Kshetra Sannyas is like the vow he had taken that he will never leave the Jagannath Puri Kshetra, because he had his deities of Gopinath, Tota Gopinath, which is still there in Jagannath Puri, this temple of Tota Gopinath, which was worshipped by Gadadhar Pandit. So he had taken vow that I will stay in Jagannath Puri and worship my Lord Gopinath. So Lord Chaitanya told Gadadhar, this is not good. You cannot leave Nilachal. You have taken Kshetra Sannyas. It will be inappropriate for you to leave. And Gadadhar Pandit said, my dear Lord, to hell with my Kshetra Sannyas. I don't care. Wherever you are, that is my, holy dham. And Lord Chaitanya didn't like. He said, no, Gadadhar, you cannot do it. But Gadadhar, if you leave, then I'll be responsible for breaking your vow of Kshetra Sannyas. And Gadadhar said, okay, all right. I will not go with you, so you will not be responsible. You go on your own, I will go on my own to Vrindavan. So when Lord Chaitanya left Nilachal, he also left. Gadadhar also broke his Kshetra Sannyas. He left and he started traveling separately. Lord Chaitanya was so much happy and satisfied internally, but externally he was exhibiting anger. So when they reached Cuttack, Lord Chaitanya actually called Gadadhar to join. And Gadadhar came and Lord Chaitanya said, see, you have come so far. You have broken your vow of Kshetra Sannyas. And everything is perfect now. Now you should return to Jagannath. Your desire to go with me to Nilachal is simply the desire for sense gratification. I'm not at all happy with this. Because Krishna wants to always protect his devotees and the vow of his devotees. So Lord Chaitanya said, if you speak a word further on this and argue with me, you will be disrespecting me. So please return now to Nilachal. And saying this, Lord Chaitanya got onto the boat to cross the river, and Gadadhar fell unconscious. Because he got the instruction from the Lord to go back, he couldn't continue further. So this is the law of devotees. They are willing to sacrifice anything and everything for the service to the Lord, to please the Lord. And the Lord, similarly, is Bhaktavatsala. He can do anything and everything to please the devotees. Krishna even sacrificed his vow to protect Bhishma Dev's vow on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where Krishna had promised that he will never take a weapon in hand. But simply to satisfy Bhishma Dev and keep Bhishma Dev's promise intact, Lord Krishna picked up the chariot wheel, broken chariot's wheel, and rushed towards Bhishma Dev to kill him. Not exactly to kill him, but to satisfy Bhishma Dev's vow. That is what Bhishma Dev wanted to see. So this is how Krishna is actually Bhaktavatsala. So Satyavama is saying Namo Deva Damodara. Then he says Ananta. Ananta means unlimited. So he is specifically taking out this name. Sanatana Goswami is explaining that Satyavama is using this name Ananta because he is begging some boon from Krishna. And Krishna may argue that, well, I cannot give you, but by speaking the word Ananta, he's saying, my dear Lord, you are unlimited. You can give any boon. Every boon is possible for you to give. A person who is unlimited and who has unlimited energies. So he can definitely give any boon. Ananta. And then he says Vishnu. Namo Deva Damodara Ananta Vishnu. So Vishnu is all pervading. Vishnu means who is all pervasive Lord. So Satyavama is trying to tell the Lord, my dear Lord, if you have to give me the boon, it's not that you have to leave Vaikuntha and come here. Because you are all pervading, you are everywhere. You are there in the Vaikuntha also, you are here also. You don't have to exert yourself, travel somewhere long distance to come and fulfill my vow. Because you are there in each and every atom. You are all pervasive. So you don't have to exert to come from Golok Vrindavan to fulfill my desire. But I'm begging now. We will be seeing what he's begging. So, therefore, he's using the word, the name of the Lord, Vishnu. Yes, Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu Prasida. Prasida Prabhu. Prasida means, oh my Lord, become pleased with me. Prasida means to be pleased. So be pleased with me. And using the word Prabhu, Prabhu means the master. So here the word Prabhu means the master of Achintya Ananta Adbhut Mahashakti. So he's the Lord and master of Achintya Shakti. Achintya means inconceivable energies. How inconceivable? Mother Yashoda kept tying more and more ropes. And yet, the final knot was 2 fingers too short. So much rope was added. And yet, it was not able to bind the belly of Krishna. Not that Krishna is expanding his belly remains same. Not that the rope is shrinking. Not that Mother Yashoda is putting wrap around the belly more and more. No, nothing like that. Mother Yashoda is just simply trying to bind the belly of Krishna with the rope, unlimited rope. and that is not able to do the job. So Achintya Shakti and Ananta Shakti. Krishna has unlimited energies. And all the energies are Adbhuta. They are extremely wonderful. So that is the meaning of the word Prabhu. So it says, Namo Deva Damodar Ananta Vishnu. Prasida Prabhu, my dear Lord, become merciful to me. Why? Because I am Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam. I am drowning. Magna means drowning. I'm drowning in the Jalabdi. Jala means water and Abdi means, huge reservoir. You can say ocean here. So I'm drowning in the ocean, but not the ordinary ocean. Ocean of Dukkha. Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam. My Lord, I am drowning in the ocean of miseries or sorrow. So, what is the sorrow of Satyavrat Muni? Satyavrat Muni's sorrow is not that, oh, I don't have $1 million in my bank. Oh, I don't have a beautiful wife. I don't have obedient children. I don't have a lot of followers. I'm not famous in this world. These are not the dukkha of Satyavrat Muni. These are the artificial dukkhas a living entity creates in his life. You see, even if I don't have, lot of money, like a couple of days back we had Diwali. Diwali, everybody does Lakshmi Puja, right? People worship Lakshmi, and the understanding of Lakshmi people have is by worshipping Lakshmi, I'll get a lot of money. That's what people generally think. If I have a lot of Lakshmi, if I have a lot of money, then I'll be happy. But you see, because people nowadays really don't have the proper Lakshmi Puja, the appropriate way of Lakshmi Puja is, when you sing Sri Shuktam from the Vedas, there are Sri Shuktam. So Sri Shuktam, if you sing and glorify Mother Lakshmi, you'll be forced to meditate and understand what those prayers are. So one of the prayer in Sri Shuktam says, Alakshmi me nashayam tvam brane. Oh Mother Lakshmi, please destroy by your mercy, destroy my Alakshmi. Now, a lot of people don't know Alakshmi is actually the elder sister of Lakshmi Devi. She's called Alakshmi. Alakshmi means also prosperity. It brings immense prosperity, just like Lakshmi only. But it brings immense miseries along with prosperity. And people don't know this reality. They think if I have prosperity, if I have wealth, if I have fame, if I have a lot of learning, so then I'll be happy. But that's not true. That is not true. Lord Ramachandra told Lakshman in the Ramayana, he says, my dear Lakshman, when people go for economic development, when they want to prosper without following dharma, that prosperity brings a lot of enemies. Lord Ramachandra was telling Lakshman that if I don't obey my father's instruction to go to forest now and arrest my father, put him in the prison and become the king, so I will be having prosperity for sure. But that prosperity will be, earned by adharma, not following the dharma. And such prosperity generally creates a lot of animosity. The real prosperity means when people are actually very much favorably inclined to you, become friendly with you. Real prosperity means you have good bank balance, but you have also good digestion. You can eat nice food. Not that you have big bank balance, but you have diabetes. You can't even eat sweets. You can't eat so many things. You can't eat salt. You are so much restricted. That's not prosperity. That is alakshmi. So people generally worship Lakshmi thinking that by having money, I will be happy. And sometimes they may have Alakshmi's favor by having a lot of money. But that money only brings miseries in life. You may have a lot of money, but some near and dear one dies in the family. Then you are miserable. You are so unhappy. So the dukkha of Satyavrat Muni is the lack of remembrance of Krishna, not being able to see Krishna face to face. That is his dukkha. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur said, there is only one problem in this world, and that is lack of Krishna consciousness. There's no other problem. Because even if I have not much money, if I am having sufficient food to eat, if I have good health, if I have good and loving relationships with people around, that is all the sum and substance of so-called happiness in this world. So happiness doesn't mean simply accumulating more and more things in this world. We shouldn't be accumulating things. We should be accumulating moments, some memorable moments. And how the moments are created? Not by seeing, how much money I have. Oh, I have, 10 millions in my bank. Oh, I have 100 millions in my bank account. When you see these digits in your bank account, that doesn't create really moments. You are accumulating more and more imaginary wealth. But when you have actually loving exchanges with people in life, when you sit and laugh with them, and you have a nice meal with them, that creates moments. So we should be earning moments in life, memorable moments, not just things. Don't collect things, collect moments in life. So, what is the most memorable moment? What is the moment that gives greatest joy to the heart of a living entity? Is actually remembrance of Krishna. When we sit down and hear Krishna Katha, simply hearing Krishna Katha is actually creating a memorable moment in our life. So, Satyavrat Muni is saying, I am drowning in the ocean of sorrow. And what is my sorrow? Because I'm not able to see you. Therefore, he says, Kripa Drishti Vishyati Dinam Batan. My dear Lord, please shower your merciful glance upon me. Not only I see the Krishna, but Krishna also looks at me. Kripa Drishti. Put your Kripa Drishti. Kripa Drishti means your merciful glance. Kripa means mercy and Drishti means glance. So please shower. Vrishta. Vrishta means in the sense of Varsha, the rains. So please shower your merciful glance upon me. That means look at me mercifully. Why? Dinam, because I am very poor. I am very unfortunate. Ati Dina means person who is actually very miserable, extremely miserable. He's called Dina. So Vishyati Ati Dina. Ati Dina means I'm extremely miserable. I'm extremely distressed. And then he says, But anugrahaneshu. Anugrahana means anugraha. We say, please, anugraha kijiye. Please be merciful. Bless me. Anugraha means to bless. So he's saying, bless me, my dear Lord. Anugrama, please bless me. Agyam, because I'm ignorant. Adi, appear. And Akshidrishya means before my eyes. So he says, Adi Akshidrishya, please become visible to my eyes. So this is the boon he's asking. Become visible to my eyes. Please shower your glance upon me. That means he's actually basically asking a face-to-face audience with the Lord, so that the Lord can shower his glance upon him and he can look at the Lord as well. So this is the boon he's asking in this works by glorifying the Lord. So it's a beautiful meditation, to meditate on that, how Satyavrat Muni is is feeling humble, feeling himself very unfortunate, feeling himself very miserable for not being able to see the form of the Lord, not being able to have darshan of the Lord. The text 7 says, Kuveratma jo baddha murthe vayatva tvaya mochita bhakti bhaja kritocha tatha prema bhaktim swakame prayacham namokshe graho mesti dhamodariha. So now in this verse, the meditation on the pastime goes further. So Lord was bound by Mother Yashoda, but then what did he do? He liberated the two sons of Kuvera who were standing there in the form of trees. So Kuvera Atmajo. Kuvera is the demigod of wealth, and Atmajo means those who are born from his body. That means his sons. Kuvera Atmajo means the two sons of, and it doesn't say Atmaja. Atmaja would be one son, but you see Atmajo. Oh is used in the sense of two. Like we say in Shadgoswami Ashtakam. Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghu Yugo. Oh, Raghu Yugo. Oh. So there are two Raghus in that prayer. Raghunath Das and Raghunath Bhatt. So it's referring to two Raghus. Now, so similarly, here it says Kuver Atma Jau. Au means two sons of Kuvera. Now, in Sanskrit, Au is used in the sense of two. Generally, we have in English singular and plural. But in Sanskrit, we have singular, dual, and plural. So singular means Atmaja would be just one. Atmajao means two. And then plural also. Atmaja means many, multiple, So Kuvera Atmajo, Bhadda Murtaya. Bhadda Murti means actually very significant. This is such a beautiful prayer. This particular verse is such a beautiful prayer. He says, Bhadda Murta. Murti means the form, or Murti means the deity. But what kind of deity? Bound. So my Lord, you are bound here. Bhadda Murtaiva. So in this case, he is meditating, my dear Lord, in this form of yours, where you are bound, and you are Toya Mochito. You are liberating the two sons of Kuvera. So Krishna is bound, but he is liberating the two sons of Kuvera. Prabhupada generally says many times, in his books and in his purports also, until there's a person who is liberated, cannot help others to be liberated. If I am bound myself, how can I help anyone else to be liberated? But Krishna here is bound. He's bound, but yet, Tvaya Mochito, he is able to liberate the two sons of Kuvera. That means Krishna is eternally liberated. Even though in this form of Damodar, where he is bound by the ropes of his mother's love, yet he's eternally liberated. So in this form of Baddha Murti, where he is bound himself, he is liberating the two sons of Kuvera from the cycle of birth and death. And not only just Mochito, not only just liberating them, Bhakti Bhajo Kritocha. He's also made them into Bhakti Bhajo. Bhakti Bhajo means the recipients of Bhakti, those who actually start practicing Bhakti. So not only the two sons of Kuvera are liberated by the Lord, but they're made into the great devotees of the Lord. So this is such a beautiful meditation. So similarly, Satyavrata Muni says, Tatha prema bhaktim sukame prayacha. Similarly, Tatha means similarly, my dear Lord, just like you gave prema bhakti to the two sons of Kubera, Tatha, similarly, prema bhakti swakame. Please give me also your prayacha. Prayacha means grant me. Please give me also your prema bhakti. So here, in one way, Satyavrata Muni is comparing his position that he is also bound, like the two sons of Kuvera. He is also bound, and he's seeking the grant, the benediction from the Lord to grant him the prema bhakti, not the liberation, but prema bhakti. And that he asserts, na mokshe. I don't want moksha again. In the previous verse, he already mentioned, but again in this verse, he is reaffirming, na mokshe graham. I do not have aspiration for moksha, my dear Lord. Na mokshe graho me sti. I do not have there any aspiration for moksha. And Damodara iha means this prema bhakti. I want only this prema bhakti of yours. Or Sanatana Goswami says, iha also, the last word, Damodara iha. Iha also refers that I want bhakti here in Vraja, where this pastime is being performed. So I don't want any other form of bhakti. I want Vraja bhakti, the bhakti that is practiced in Vrindavan. So that is my aspiration. So in this way, the Satyavrata Muni is further continuing his prayer. Text 8, he says, Namaste stu dhamne sprunadipti dhamne tvadiyo dharayata vishwasya dhamne Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya Namo nanta lilaya devaya tubhyam. He says, in the final words, he is again offering obeisances. Namaste, my dear Lord, I offer my obeisances to you. Namaste. Unto you I am offering obeisances. Says, Namostute dhamne. Dhamne means, the dhama means rope. Damodar, right? We say. So dhamne means to the rope. So first he says, my dear Lord, I offer my obeisances to the rope. But what kind of rope it is? Sfurat dipti dhamne. Which is, Sfurat means, shining, and deepti. This rope is not ordinary rope. It is the abode of illuminating light, blazing light. So the rope is actually shining. So brilliantly effulgent rope. Namostestu dhamni sfut adipti dhamni. I offer my obeisances first of all to the rope. Now one may think, why he is offering obeisance to the rope first? Because the rope is something which is on the top, covering the belly of the Lord. And rope is also tadiya. Tadiya means the what do you call, in relationship to the Lord, paraphernalia of the Lord. The Lord is bound by his own paraphernalia. No material thing can touch the form of the Lord. So the rope is also actually transcendental rope. And it is tadiya. Tadiya means paraphernalia of the Lord. And Lord Shiva actually says in his explanation to Mother Parvati, says, Aradhanam api sarvesha Vishnu aradhana param. Tasmat paratram devi tadiyanam samarcha. Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati, Aradhanam api sarvesha. Among all the aradhana, among all forms of worship, the worship of Vishnu is supreme. Aradhanam api sarvesha Vishnu Aradhana Param. Vishnu Aradhana is supreme among all forms of worship. So worshipping different demigods, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, Mother Parvati, Ganesh, Chandra, Surya, any other demigods you may worship. But among all the forms of worship, worship of Lord Vishnu is Param. Vishnu Aradhana Param. But Tasmat Paratram. But there is something superior to even worship of Vishnu. What is that? Tasmat Paratram Devi, my dear wife, my dear Devi, there is something superior to worship of Vishnu also. And what is that? Tadhyanam Samarchana. Worshipping the paraphernalia. Tadya means anything that is in relationship to Vishnu. Tadhyana Samarchana. Worshipping anything in relationship to Vishnu. So worshipping the paraphernalia of the Lord, worshipping the devotees who are actually related to the Lord, is actually better than worshipping Vishnu himself. And this is also supported by Krishna himself. Krishna says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, he's telling his instruction to Uddhava, that worship of Vishnu is better than worship of me. Krishna is firstly telling to Uddhava, worship of Vishnu, my devotees, is better than worshipping me. So the Tadiya refers to the paraphernalia of the Lord. So therefore, Satyavat Muni is first offering obeisances to the robe, Tadiya, which is in relationship to the Lord. And then he says, Tvadiyo Dharaya. Then I offer my obeisances. Then Namostate is applicable to Dhamne, and then Namostate is also referring to Tvadiyo Udhara. Tvadiyo Udhara means your belly. Udhara means belly, and Tvadiya means yours. So, Tvadiya Udharaya, your belly, I offer my obeisances to. Why? Because that belly is also the Vishwasya Dhamni, is the source of all the universe. Vishwasya Dhamni. Dham here also refers to the origination. So we know Krishna's belly is source of creation because Krishna in his form as Garbhodakshina Vishnu is lying in the bottom of the universe, and from his navel comes the lotus flower on which Brahma is born. And then Brahma creates all the 14 planetary systems. So in one way, one can say the 14 planets, the whole creation is created by Brahma. But Brahma himself is created by the belly, from the navel of the Lord. So in this way, one can conclude that the Vishwa, the universe, is actually created by the belly of the Lord. So everything is emanated from the belly, from the navel of the Lord. Therefore he says, Tvadiyo Dharaya Vishwasya Dhamne. Your belly is the source of all the entire universe, creation of entire universe. And then Namo Radhikaya. I offer my obeisances to Srimati Radharani, who is Tvadiya Priyaya, who is actually very dear to you. So the Satyavat Muni is not just offering obeisances to the robe or other paraphernalia and the Lord, but he knows offering obeisances to the dear devotees of the Lord. And among the devotees, especially, Srimati Radharani is the topmost devotee. So he's offering his obeisances to Srimati Radharani. And the last line he says, Namo Ananta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam. I offer my obeisances to Ananta Leela, unlimited pastimes of your Lordship. So here Satyavat Muni is actually meditating on, because he's offered obeisance to Radharani. So this Ananta Leela actually refers to not just Damodar Leela, but also Krishna's Rasa Leela pastimes. because Radharani participates in Krishna's Rasa Leela with Krishna. So is referring to Rasa Leela, but because Rasa Leela is on subject matter which could be controversial, you know, therefore Satyavrat Muni is not directly mentioning Rasa Leela. He's saying Ananta Leela, all the unlimited pastimes of yours. Because he's concluding his prayers here, right? So the last portion of the prayers especially should be without any controversy, without any, what do you call, creating arguments, for example. Srila Prabhupada actually explains in this regard that the ending of everything should be sweet. Ending should be always sweet. Even say, for example, in the life, when we are living, we may have sometimes sweet, sometimes bitter relationship with people around. Even if you are working in the office, sometimes you may have good relationship, sometimes you have better relationship with people. But when we are actually ending, suppose you are even ending your project or your office work, and you will not be seeing those people ever again, it's always a good idea to leave on a good note, having some sweet relationship with everyone. Because ending sweet makes people forget all the bitterness that they might have experienced in their whole life. Srila Prabhupada explains in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, that in the prayers of Shukdev, Parishit Maharaj, Parishit Maharaj is actually saying that let Mother Ganga, let all the sages, everybody be merciful to me. So Srila Prabhupada explains that toward the end of one's life, a person should try to beg forgiveness from everyone. Try to create sweet relationship with everyone, at least especially towards the end of one's life. One should beg forgiveness from everyone for the offenses one may have committed knowingly or unknowingly. Of course, we don't have to wait to the end of the life, but specifically toward the end of life, one should actually be humble and try to make the closing chapter of his life or her life to be sweet, so that everybody remembers, oh, how sweet this person was. Not that when you die, people think, oh, good riddance, this person was such a nonsense. Good he died. It's like, I remember this small anecdote. So, in a village, certain village, old man dies. And he was a very, troublesome old man. He used to fight with everyone, quarrel with everyone. Everybody was fed up of him. So he died and he had 4 sons. So in the next village, nearby village, the person who was actually related to this family, he told his son, my dear son, his son was kind of little immature, but he told his son, my dear son, I cannot go for this, the person has died in our family, so I can't go because I have some work, so you go. But he said, my dear father, I don't know how to deal in such a situation. They don't worry, it's very simple. You see whoever else is around saying, same thing you go and tell the family. So this boy was since immature, so as soon as he enters the village, he hears people talking, oh, this old man, he was such a nonsense. He was such an idiot, you always fight with everyone. Good riddance, he died. Good he died, got rid of such nuisance from the village. So he heard all this and then he goes to the home of the person and that 4 sons were sitting. They were crying and they said, oh, why you are crying? Good riddance, good that old man died. He was such a nonsense. He used to fight with everyone. So the sons actually got really angry and they bet him. But the whole idea here is, our life ending should not be like that. That people actually think, oh, good, that person died. You're such a nonsense. You're such a nuisance to everyone. In fact, Srila Prabhupada, for his preaching mission, he had to, sometimes take a very strong stand, because he saw that some of his god brothers were trying to misguide his disciples. So he had to actually put his foot down and tell his followers and disciples that, my god brothers only gave me tough time. They're not really cooperative, which was actually true. Prabhupada wanted a lot of cooperation from his god brothers to spread the mission of Krishna consciousness, but he didn't get much. So, but towards the end of his life, Srila Prabhupada actually, he was lying in Vrindavan, in Krishna Balram Mandir. He was actually telling some of his god brothers who were sitting beside him that I was proud, I was puffed up, and therefore I was actually, critical to my god brothers. And Krishna Bhaji Maharaj, who was actually very dear god brother of Srila Prabhupada, he was there and he said, no, Swamiji Maharaj, no, Swamiji Maharaj, what you have done is actually very much needed. Whatever you did was actually very much essential and needed. You don't have to beg forgiveness. But Srila Prabhupada said, no, but I was still proud, proud of my achievement. Therefore, I was critical to my god brothers. Prabhupada was never actually proud. He did only whatever was extremely needed and required. But Srila Prabhupada showed from his own example, even though he did something that was essentially required to establish his mission and protect his mission of ISKCON society, but toward the end of his life, he was begging forgiveness. He was begging forgiveness for, whatever might have been hurtful to his god brothers, what he did as a need to protect the mission. So Srila Prabhupada showed from own example. And similarly, Parishit Maharaj also, when he's, sitting on the bank of Ganga, he is actually begging forgiveness from everyone. And he's saying, let everyone be pleased with me. Let Mother Ganga be pleased with me. Let all the sages who are assembled here be pleased with me. Because he was remembering his offense to the Shamik Rishi, what he had done. So he was thinking, let Shamik Rishi also forgive me. Let his son also forgive me who cursed me. He's not holding any grudge against anyone. So the ending part should always be sweet. You shouldn't create any controversy or problems where people actually become averse to us. So Satyavrat Muni, in order to avoid any kind of arguments or confusions, he's not mentioning Rasa Leela, because Rasa Leela is many times misunderstood in this world. So therefore he says, Namo Ananta Leela. I offer my unlimited obeisances. I offer my obeisances to unlimited pastimes of the Lord. Devaya Tumya. Your unlimited pastimes, my dear Lord, I offer my obeisances. So in this way, Satyavrat Muni is actually offering this beautiful song, beautiful prayers to Lord Damodar. And when we sing every day in the month of Kartik, in this prayer, if we meditate on each and every word, then that meditation will actually be so pleasing, so pleasing. Generally, when we sing a song or sing a prayer, when we don't know the meaning of it, it is not enlivening. But when you especially meditate on each and every word of the prayer and sing that way with the feeling, the feeling automatically comes when you know the meaning and try to meditate on that words. So that was the only intention of going through these 8 verses, to explain, so that everyone might have the proper meditation while singing this prayer, which will be so enlivening and giving so much joy to Lord Damodar. So that was with this intention that Lord Damodar will be pleased and the Vaishnavas will be very much pleased that we decided to have this presentation. So thank you very much, all the devotees. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask now.
Thank you so much, Shankrant Prabhuji. You have explained all these 8 verses very beautifully and very sweet. Very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I would like to request all the devotees if anyone has any questions. Prabhuji. Looks like no one, Prabhuji.
So then we can stop our session here. Thank you very much, all the devotees. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
And next weekend we'll be having a last part, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, we will have the entire Damodar Leela discussed next week.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो Thank you.
Shankrant Prabhuji ki jai.